Welcome back, Pipers. Hobbiton Piper Kevin here, coming to you from the heartland of America in Missouri. We're indoors today. It is rainy, wet and rainy. We're ending March here in Missouri, and we hope that April will actually bring in spring, but right now it's still cold and rainy outside. So I thought I would tell you a pipe story today about one of my favorite pipes. This is actually a pipe that was a gift for Christmas this past Christmas season from a very dear friend of mine, and I've enjoyed this pipe so much I wanted to talk to you a little bit about it. This is the Savinelli 320 KS shape, if you're not familiar with it, and I know many of you are. This is a pipe that has really become a favorite shape of mine, or model number of mine from Savinelli. This is an Italian take on the author shape, the classic author type shape pipe. And it's really worked wonders for me on some blends, and we'll talk about that a little bit. But it's got a very plump bowl, as you can see, very plump bowl. Some pipers do find this to be a little bit bulky, a little bit harder to clench, and I understand that. It's got a very robust shank and stem combination. It's got hardy proportions, no doubt. So it's pretty stout in the hand, and it's definitely a signature shape for Savinelli, the 320. I know many of you own a 320 or two in your collection. So it's got a very impressively broad, wide chamber, and I think those of us that love the 320, that's one of the reasons that we love it. In fact, there were some blends, some of my favorite blends, that would sometimes attack the back of my throat after I'd been smoking them for a bit. And it was so frustrating, and I'm sure much of that is due to my own technique and me needing to be a better piper, but I don't normally blame the blend. I normally blame myself if I'm having issues, because there's so many variables and there's so many things that we can do as pipers to be better at the art of pipe smoking. And I always tend to blame myself before I ever blame a pipe or blame a blend. But there were several blends that were attacking the back of my throat, and I found that when I would smoke them in a 320, that it would often tame that blend. It would often make it to where that didn't happen. The irritation would go away. And I was fortunate enough to be on Brian Levine's Pipes Magazine radio podcast last year. And we were talking about this. And I told him about these blends that would sometimes attack the back of my throat, and how in a wider bowl, I found that it would often tame those blends. And I asked him, I said, can you educate me on why that might be? And he said, quote, "You are experiencing the laws of physics. A more condensed area of burn burns hotter and burns faster than a larger area of burn, which would burn slower and burn cooler. So the wider tobacco chamber, when you draw in on it, you're having less of an impact on it than if it was a narrower tobacco chamber, which you have more impact on it." So it's the laws of physics, and that makes a lot of sense. Now, obviously, with more experience, more time, you could likely control that much better in any shape pipe. But for me, and my cadence and my style of piping, this bowl shape, the wider chamber, has really helped me in a lot of ways with many blends that previously would be difficult for me to smoke. So might be something for you to try. This Eleganza series particularly, it's supposed to give a more luxurious presentation. It has the appearance of a classic spigot mount, but it's obviously been modernized. It's got a blue acrylic stem. It's got a standard tenon arrangement. So you can actually use a filter if you want to. I'm using the adapter right now, but you can actually use a filter with this pipe. So it's supposed to personify Italian elegance, the Eleganza series. And this one has the smooth, natural finish, which I found to be really striking. But it also does come in a rusticated dark brown finish as well. So I'm just a big fan of the Savinelli factory pipes. I think they give you tremendous value for your money. This one's a little more expensive, obviously, than many that they offer, but you know, you can get some really, really good Savinelli smokers for under $100, especially if you search for discounts and deals that you'll find online sometimes. So I highly recommend Savinelli. This is a pipe that I wanted to tell you a pipe story on today while it's so cold and rainy outside. Really enjoying this one. Until we talk again, I hope you can go enjoy some good food, good drink, and a good pipe like this Savinelli 320 KS Eleganza Smooth Natural.